So today we'll be getting into a situation that Randy Orton revealed with Riddle, Carmella, and WWE's possible live events. Let's start things off with this Carmella news because this is eye-opening, but not really that surprising. So Carmella went missing for about 5 months in mid-2020. Everyone wanted to know where she went. We started seeing these mystery women teasers on SmackDown, and it turned out to be a new version of Carmella, which is great. Carmella addressed past situations in her career, like when she was a comedic act with R-Truth a few years ago. She said that she was doing it all for the fans, and that wasn't the real her, and this was the real her. So it was a great little backstory behind the new persona. Carmella appeared with a whole new look, persona, and even had Reginald by her side. But they put her into a title picture right away when she returned. We talked about how that may be problematic. Obviously, Carmella wasn't going to defeat Sasha Banks for the title at the time, so Carmella suffers a few losses to Sasha Banks, loses that feud, and hasn't done a single thing since. So there was a 6-month wait, a whole new character, whole new introduction, and she's basically gone after that one feud with Sasha Banks. They also broke Carmella and Reginald up pretty prematurely, just like most WWE duos, so once again, not really much of a surprise either, but it was Carmella's comments from her recent interview with the Bella Twins that were the most interesting. Carmella revealed that had Billie Kay stuck around in WWE, they were likely going to be a comedic tag team, and it sounds like the new gimmick would have slowly faded away since she was going to be a comedic act again. This is what Carmella had to say about already giving up her new gimmick for the new team with Billie Kay. I don't know what the right or wrong things to say is. All I can speak from is my experience. And we were super excited for this story, and I felt like, okay, I'm done with this whole sexy gimmick that they want me to do, which is fine. It's fun to be sexy, but I feel like I wanted to show my personality more. I wanted to show a little bit more of a fun side, and I was looking forward to doing that with Billie. Like you said, our entrance alone, she was cracking me up. So I was really looking forward to seeing where that was going to go. And unfortunately, we can't do that anymore. Even Peyton, those two were some of my closest friends since they got here. So it was the first time I was really rocked by a release. So Carmella and Billie Kay would have been a great act to see together, and Carmella was excited for it. But from a character point of view, and from what the Carmella character actually said during her return, it would have been weird to see Carmella go back down the comedic route. That was one of the first things Carmella addressed during her return, that she never liked running around with R-Truth and all that. So for the character to turn around a few months after saying that and be included in a comedic tag team would have been a bit strange. But what are your thoughts on what Carmella said? Should she remain in a serious persona or head back down the comedic and fun route? Riddle and Randy Orton are slowly taking over WWE Raw with their new tag team RK Bro. But Riddle and Randy Orton didn't exactly get off on the right foot when they first met backstage. Randy Orton had this story to share while speaking with Kurt Angle. But the funny thing with Riddle is, when I first met him, we were in Miami. The entire locker room of NXT was in Miami. So now our locker rooms, which aren't the biggest, are now jam-packed with NXT guys who aren't working the show. But, you know, in the wrestling business, you bring your gear to the show, you are always prepared. And so you got all these NXT guys with all their stuff taking up all the space in the locker room. So it doesn't help when I walk by Matt Riddle and my olive branch was basically me all looking at Matt. And I just said, oh, there he is. There he is. Just kind of icebreaker, expecting maybe oh, hey, Randy. My name is Matt. Nice to meet you. But instead, Matt just kind of barely, with bloodshot eyes, glanced over at me and he just kept walking. So for quite a while, I didn't like Riddle. And it was because of that little scenario, one little incident. And it wasn't even an incident. It's just, I look at it as a lack of respect. And when you come back there and you're brand new and no one knows you, you want to introduce yourself because we are a band of brothers. So like Randy Orton said, it wasn't an actual incident, but just by Riddle's lack of response, Randy Orton was basically offended by that and didn't like him at first because of that interaction. Obviously, things are much better now. Randy Orton and Riddle appear to be at the start of a great program together. Riddle picks up the win over Orton, earns his respect. Now Orton wants to team with him and see more of Riddle. No one expects RK Bro to last that long due to Randy Orton's character and history. Randy Orton can't be trusted with anyone at all. He's basically turned on everyone that he's ever teamed up with. So history tells us that things aren't looking that well for the long-term future of RK Bro. A lot of fans feel like Riddle and Randy Orton's story could go down a similar route as the Y2AJ story did. Y2AJ was this unlikely tag team between Chris Jericho and AJ Styles. It started off in a similar way, where the new guy in WWE at the time, AJ Styles, picked up the win over the WWE veteran, Chris Jericho, and everything took off after that. Jericho was impressed with AJ Styles, wanted to team with him. They had t-shirts and merchandise together, all these different things. And then they broke up, and it led to a massive one-on-one feud. So it seems like we most definitely can expect something similar for Randy Orton and Riddle. Maybe their team lasts several months, maybe it's a few weeks. But eventually, Randy Orton is going to turn on Riddle and jumpstart their actual one-on-one feud. The match that Riddle and Randy Orton had a few weeks ago on Raw was one of the only bright spots from Raw that week. So that match was a good sign of what's to come from them if they ever meet again in the ring, which everyone fully expects to see. Are you looking forward to Randy Orton and Riddle's story? Would you like to see them team up for a while or break up right away? There may be some good news about live fans coming back to WWE shows real soon. WrestleMania had live fans, but obviously that was just for one special event since it was WrestleMania. But WWE still wasn't ready to have fans back full time. There's been a few rumors going around lately. If touring is still an issue for the rest of the year, there was a report that said the big three shows of SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania would be the only shows to have live fans. But telling by how fast progress is being made and how fast everything is going right now, rumor is that a live crowd could return on a regular basis by summertime. Another report even claiming that WWE may test out some live events with fans over the next few months as well, which is just great news. The fans add a lot to the product and they're desperately needed right now. Sure, there were some sleepy crowds from time to time, but after being gone for so long, every crowd all over the country is going to be electric for their first WWE live event in such a long time. So that's something to look forward to. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.